Universal healthcare, I want to share my idea about how we can make it happen, and most importantly, do it in a moral way, because I feel like this is how things are framed from the beginning is, hey, it's a moral argument of there are poor people that are uninsured, their kids are uninsured. So the moral thing to do is, you know what, make sure that they are insured. And there is a number, so that's not a faulty talking point. And as you can see here on the screen, we'll put it up. This comes from the US Census, so this is not biased. It's literally from the government. But 28 million people at this point in 2020 were uninsured, which is a little bit below 10%. But yes, I'm gonna just call it 30 million people to make it easier to say. So 30 million people are uninsured. And again, from the moral viewpoint, yeah, you know what? People deserve to have healthcare. People are entitled to healthcare. Those 30 million people need to get insured. And okay, I understand it, and I'm not opposed to it, but like I said, let's make sure that we can do this in a moral way. So this is my idea. We will give people a choice. I think choices are a good thing, and I think that way you don't force anybody to do anything. So we'll give people a choice in this regard. And so the 30 million people, so the 30 million. Now the government, and this is what we got to keep in mind. When I say government, I mean me. I mean you, assuming you are paying taxes. If you are a taxpayer, then that's what the government actually is, right? When the government is doing this, then that. No, it's actually what should be being said is the taxpayer is doing this or that, because that's where the funds for the government are coming from. So I say, in fact, I'm going to just say taxpayer. So taxpayer. But yes, the government. This is what would work. This is what I think is moral, right? Because if you are giving, it's not even giving your money, but if our money is being taken, which it is, that's what a tax is, but if our money is being taken, I think we have every moral right to say, okay, if you're going to take my money, can you please just use it wisely? That's all I ask. If you're going to take it, can we use it wisely? Is that a fair thing for me to want? I think it is. I think if you were to have your money taken from somebody, you say, okay, if you're going to take it, can you at least use it smart, use it for something that makes sense? Just use it as best as possible. So I think that's a very easy common ground to find. So on that note, again, we're not forcing these 30 million people to live a certain lifestyle. We're giving them the choice. We're explaining this all up front. So the government is going to say, okay, you have two choices. You have two boxes to choose from. No insurance, or you can come down here to, I'm going to call it tax. I was going to call it government insurance, but let's call it taxpayer, because that's what it is, because that's who's actually paying for it. Taxpayer health insurance. So if they're like, okay, yeah, well, I don't, what exactly does that mean? Are there any contingencies? Yes, there are contingencies. It's like, okay, well, what are these contingencies? Well, under the taxpayer health insurance, these are some of the things. No sugar. No, sugar is bad for you. Sugar creates health problems. And we don't want to, if we can avoid you having health problems, well, you know what? I think that's a good thing. That would be smart. So no fast food, no pop. That's what we call it here in the Midwest. Maybe soda? No soda. I think that's what most people call it. No pop, no fast food. I mean, sugar. Go in your cabinet right now. Flip things around. Does that have sugar in it? Oh, it does. Does that have added sugar in it? Oh, it does. Yeah, sorry. You're not going to be able to eat that stuff. We need you eating healthy. We need you eating real food. So, and again, the argument is it's a bunch of poor people, and these poor people, I'm assuming they're on food stamps. Okay, well, part of the food stamp program is if you go to the store with your food stamp, you're not going to be able to buy items that have sugar in it. You need to buy things that are healthy for you. Why? Well, because what are you doing now? You're using other people's money for your health care. So I think it's very moral of those people to request that you just live a healthy life, because if you're going to use my money for your health insurance, then okay, that's cool. And I don't think that anybody would sit here and say, somebody was uninsured, they're living healthy, they get in a car wreck, they need health insurance. No problem at all. I get it. I can't imagine anybody that would be saying, that's actually a good use of my taxpayer dollar. Somebody that's truly trying to make good decisions of their health. They're exercising, and then something unfortunate such as a car accident happens. Yeah, no problem at all with that. I think that's fantastic to use some of the taxpayer money to give a portion of that. But, for me to have my money taken from me and then pay for somebody's diabetes problems that are self-inflicted because they just keep shoving potato chips and pop and, Sour Patch Kids in their face all the time. Oh yeah, and on this, it's under this, but no alcohol. I mean, are you kidding me? Alcohol is terrible for you. Why is it so terrible for you? Well, because it's got a lot of sugar in you, but definitely no alcohol. So if you're going to do the taxpayer health insurance system, yeah, kiss those booze goodbye. Oh, and of course the obvious one. I mean, no smoking. Are you kidding me? I don't think I need to say anything more there. I mean, no drugs. That's pretty obvious too. So if you get drug tested and you have drugs, yeah, sorry, you're off the healthcare system. Because again, I think this is very moral of me. If my money is going to be taken, if your money is going to be taken as a taxpayer and used for somebody else's health insurance, again, car accident, I think everybody would agree. I think 99% of people would say, oh yeah, if they're doing all this and something unfortunate, go for it. But I mean, how is it moral for somebody to be partaking in all these things and then say, oh yeah, and I'm going to use your money now for my health insurance, right? And I'm not even saying anybody's suggesting that, but I don't know how anybody could suggest, because if you don't put in these stipulations, well, then you're starting to open up some possibility where people are out there just creating their own health issues that could have been avoided, but they're just creating their own, and maybe they don't care that they're creating their own because they know that they're gonna, use somebody else's money to pay for their issues. And then, so this is all the diet stuff, and then of course we got to have some exercise. So I'm open to this. I don't know how realistic. Maybe I'm being too kind, but 5 miles. You need to walk, run, whatever, 5 miles per week. 7 days in a week, so you don't even have to do a mile a day. But you better get out there, do some exercise. Sorry, you don't get to sit in front of the TV, play video games. There's none of that stuff going on. Now, if you're doing a work that you can say, yeah, at my job, I'm doing 5 miles, then okay, I'm good there. But down here, this would be the exercising component. And I get it. You might be saying, well, geez, Clay, these people have to do all this stuff to get health insurance? Yes, because all the people that have health insurance, that's free. Do you know why it's free? It's because their employer is paying for it. But in order to get that free health insurance, they have to do something. What? Well, they have to work for the employer. They have to give that employer their time. So I think it's fair to require, if these people want taxpayer health insurance, that we require something from them. That seems the morally logical sequence to go in. And what would the requirements be? Like I said, these are them. Maybe I'm missing some things. In the comment section down below, am I missing some things that would be, as a taxpayer, that we would like to make as stipulations so our money is being spent in the best way possible? And I know I've said this a couple times, but I want to really reiterate it. I can't imagine anybody that would look at this situation and see and know that somebody was doing this, they were exercising, and then some unfortunate, just some sort of unfortunate cancer shows up, some sort of unfortunate, just something like that, where you're like, wow, that definitely, that's just rough. Now, I could also make the argument that that's why charities and stuff like that exist, but we'll just put that aside and leave it within this framework. Yeah, I have no problem with some of my tax dollars going towards something like that. Again, I'd rather a charity be doing it because charities are a little bit more efficient with their money compared to the government, but we won't put that aside. But philosophically, I don't think anybody's going to have their money against that. But this seems like common sense to me. And again, it's moral. It is moral, and it's also moral from, right? What would you say to somebody that shows up? They're eating a bag, they're drinking some pop as they drink their alcohol, as they're smoking a cigarette, as they show a pie on something. And, they're behaving in very unhealthy ways. And like, I'm getting other people's money. So, I'm just going to live however I want. Right? You would say, that's a very immoral thing of you to do. Maybe be a little appreciative of those people that are, and it's not even giving you their money, but, you're using other people's money. It seems like the moral thing for you to do would be to do whatever needs to be done for you to respect and, allow that money to be used as efficiently as possible. So, like I said, this whole morality thing goes a long way around. And by putting these stipulations, hey, you know what? all you're doing is forcing that person to behave in a moral fashion relative to where the money's coming from in the first place. I think that this is a very straightforward system where you could get it done. Now, how do you implement it? I don't know. Got some ideas in the comment section, but as a framework, I think this makes a whole lot of sense to give universal healthcare to the people that do need it, but also ensure that our money is being used in the most efficient and smart way possible. So if you see any things that could be shored up here, if you have any things that could be added to the list, I don't know, is it 5 miles? Is that too much, too little? I'm definitely open for discussion on that one. But in my mind, this is one of the most important parts. None of this will be hid. So it's not like the government's saying, just gotcha. You sign up and then you know about this. No, you see it right up front. These are 2 choices. If you do click if you check that box, then boom, that's what it's going to be. But you don't have to click that. If you want to go through life and take on the risk that you don't want health insurance because you want to do all these things, then as somebody that believes in, hey, then you have that choice. Go for it. I mean, it's your body. If you want to just take that risk, then so be it. That's up to you. However, if those diabetes and stuff show up, you don't get to then all of a sudden say, hey, I need your money to pay for my bad choices. That's not how this is going to work, because you had the choice up front. And if you want to go down the no insurance path because you still want to indulge in that sort of stuff, then hey, no, I have no problem with that. My only problem comes about when something bad that's a result of this, now all of a sudden you want my money. That's where I have a problem. I think that's where a lot of people have problems. And I don't think I'm immoral to have a problem with that. In fact, dare I say, you would be the immoral person in that situation. And again, I'm not saying if you would do that. I'm just saying I can see some of these counter arguments, and it's like, at the end of the day, if we're doing all this in the name of morality, I think this is a pretty moral proof way to go about it, especially when, again, nothing is being hidden up front. You're disclosing how it all works, and then you just give that person the choice right from the get-go. So let me know your thoughts below, and I enjoyed this discussion. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only 1 losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.